I welcome you. My name is Nnamdi. I am the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, and I serve these very wonderful people by the grace of Almighty Elohim, Chukwokika Biama Purumi Henine, whom we must dedicate this very evening presentation to before we proceed. Some of you are wondering what is happening. Some of you are perhaps confused, and rightfully so. We are here to put the record straight. We are here to make you understand that this very journey is irreversible. What we are doing cannot be stopped. There is no human on the face of this very earth that is capable of interrupting our relentless march towards our freedom. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter whatever position you may have held or in what esteem we may have regarded you in the past. On this very solemn march towards our freedom, if you are not able to stay on the path of the straight and narrow, you will be discarded and we will march on. Nothing is going to stop us. Nothing is going to phase us. Nothing can disrupt this very march towards that very promised land of Biafra. If you're a hardcore, we welcome you. If you are seeking to become one, we also welcome you. We ask you, as always, to get your pen and paper ready. This is the greatest platform, the greatest institution you will ever be privileged to listen to or to be lectured from. Before we proceed, we must pray. Chukwokika Biama must accept our presence here. We are in the Holy Land of Israel, and we must do the needful. That needful that we must do is our prayer, which we must make. Here on this very platform, we have some people that came to see me from the United States of America. Madam Erwa is still here. Dr. Okoro left, I think, this morning. And also we have one of our brothers who will be joining us. As we go on, I may bring them in to say hello to all of you. They came from very far to visit me. And they are here with me in the studios of Radio Biafra here in the Holy Land of Israel. We must pray. We must give thanks to Elohim, without whom we cannot function, and unto him we give every honor and every adoration wherever you are. I will ask you, if you are in the spirit, to remain so. If you are outside the spirit, we ask you to come into it, because what we are preaching from here is a gospel of redemption, as directed by Chukwokika Biama himself in heaven. And this very gospel, we must preach it. Therefore, we must pray. We give thanks unto thee, O Elohim, for there is none like thee. There can never be any like thee. You are the beginning and the end. You are the Alpha and the Omega. Our lives are in the palm of your hands. We commit all that we are unto thee. We have come as the ancients did before us, as our ancestors did before we came, to offer praise and adoration unto your holy name and no other. For we do not worship any idol. We do not worship anything born of a human being. We do not worship anything carved out of a tree. We do not bow down before anything molded with the hands of men. It's only thee that we worship. That is why we have come this very evening on this hallowed platform that you yourself created, to offer you unadulterated praise and to hand over to thee all that we can ever become, because Biafra is yours. This very family of IPOB, you molded yourself. You decreed that IPOB must come, and now that we have come, that we may worship thee, O Elohim, please accept our offering of praise and sacrifice unto your holy name, because there is no other like thee. We will continue to adore thee. We will continue to worship thee. And as I said before, and I will reiterate, as we pray unto thee, that Biafra is your possession, we will sacrifice Biafra unto thee, that you may guide us in all that we do. It's only you that sees the hearts of men. If there is anything that we are hiding, if there is anything that we have concealed from our people, oh Elohim, you will judge us very harshly. But if our hands are clean, our hearts very pure, you will bless IPOB, and you will bless me, and you will bless my family, because it's a promise from you. All our hope and our trust is upon thee. May your name be glorified. May you be exalted. May you, O Elohim, be praised. Now and forevermore we pray. He said, as I said, Madam Erua is here with me. I am not stopping anybody from coming to see me from far, but please, you must clear it with our coordinators here before you set out to come to see me. As most of you well know, I'm like an open book. I welcome people and I will continue to do so. I do not change my persona. I will not change who I am. Anybody that knows me will know I'm a very humble person. Sometimes some of our detractors, some of our enemies will wish to twist that very narrative, but we will not let them. I was born into a very humble home. So were my parents before me, and so will I be, and my children after me. That is how we are made, and that is how we will continue to live. Anybody who is free to come. After all, there was somebody that came from Enugu to see me here. He's an Assemblies of God church pastor. He came just a few minutes ago before we came on air to see me. And I welcome them. He's from Enugu State. He's from Ngwo, as a matter of fact. And I wish that they remain blessed as they do the work that they have been called to do here in Israel. We must proceed. But before we go, please, can you give the microphone to Madam Erua to say hello to the global family, the wonderful family of IPOB all over the world. We are immense. We are unstoppable. There is nothing anybody can say or do to stop us from restoring Biafra. Nobody can stop us. No human being, no flesh. When we say we are not voting, we are not voting. Understand it very clearly. We will crush and crumble the zoo to nothing. We will destroy it completely. That Biafra may come and Chukwu Kikabiyama take his pride of place in our lives. Please, if Madam Erua can address our people all over the world. Very briefly, just greet them. Go ahead.
I salute you all, fellow freedom fighters, IPOB family member. I thank you. It's such an honor to be in Israel to see our leader, Nnamdi Kanu. I am so blessed to be here. So I greet you all. With that, I want to just say a word or two in my language, in my Urobo language, just to greet my fellow Urobo and Ichekiri. Urobo wado, Urobo wado, Isi wado, Isoko menyeronwa, Ijo aizon, Ishakiri moke adedo, Torofi Biafra when I see giwe. You know, da magbaranga bagbeta. Urobo biko wamo ma biota na wamo ma bio otari Biafra kedi abai kadio vien. Le Awusa Fulani be kubi ire ikwori Yoruba biko mi ron wa ijobi. Amo ma biotana. Da agbaranga not for we. Please, this is the time where they are going to go around distributing 10,000 naira to all of you because election is coming. And then what is 10,000 naira going to do for you all? Ask them, where have they been? Your children are enslaved. You are enslaved. Ask them, where have they been? Why are they bringing 10,000 naira now? What is he going to do? Your child is out of school. They are not in school. So, this time around, no voting. Don't vote. No voting. We want referendum. We want our Biafra. We want freedom. So, I greet you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Erua. As most of you could have gleaned from that very short introduction and an encapsulation, more or less, of everything that we stand for. Biafra extends all the way to the great lands of Urobo, of Ishekiri, of Isoko, of Ijo. We are all Biafra and we are marching to freedom. because we thought humanity, what freedom was all about. We had democracy in the ancient lands of Biafra before the Greeks before the Greeks ever dreamt of having a democracy. We had it. And that is where we are heading to. We are going to teach the world what true federalism is all about. We are not going to subjugate, we will not relegate. There will be nothing like oppression in Biafra land. All will be free to worship Chukwokika Biama as they deem fit. We must continue. This is Radio Biafra. Welcome you once again wherever you are. And there are some people who have not been able to do what I asked them to do. If you are residing or you're domiciled abroad, I want each and every one of you to ensure that your village, your clan, your hamlet is in receipt of this very broadcast. You can get them a satellite receiver. You can also purchase a transmitter or contact our deputy UHMF4 so that we can install a transmitter in your village so that your people should be able to receive this very broadcast. We've gone very far, but we want to achieve 100% coverage on FM dial everywhere in Biafra land. We must proceed. The unmasking of Jubril must proceed, regardless of what our enemies are attempting to do, all the diversionary tactics, all the lies and the deception, aided and abetted by Yoruba media, channels, television, propagating lies and falsehood. We come here to shred them to pieces, to rip them apart, and to expose them for what they are, that they are evil. They are evil. Somebody wrote to ask one of us to inform me to take it easy on Jubril. And I said to them, why should we? This zoo must fall. Jubril will be exposed. I even noticed that AFP have joined them. There was a tweet message from AFP saying that till date they have not uncovered any evidence that Jubril is Buhari. And I began to wonder, perhaps they are blind, or perhaps their stated purpose of investigative journalism have somehow abandoned them. They are not able to face the truth because of bribery and corruption. Some of you don't know that journalists can be bought, that some diplomats in the zoo called Nigeria have been bought over a long time ago with oil money to keep feeding lies to their host countries. Very soon, they will be exposed and shamed for good because they failed to speak the truth. This evening, we will continue our expose. I am asking each and every one of you, as it is with IPOB. The thing about IPOB that I love so much is that we are not like other useless African people, and we can never be. I make no apologies about that at all. Where we come from a very early age, we teach you how to reason properly. Sadly, other people have failed to reason. That is why Africa is so poor and wretched. Backwards, poor and wretched. Because we black Africans do not reason. I have only one question for the few Yoruba journalists that have been feigning ignorance about all the evidence that we've amassed against Jubril of Sudan. How can somebody be taller in 2015 than, say, for instance, Saraki, and all of a sudden he's now shorter? And you don't think there is something wrong? Maybe because I'm a black African man, and as you well know, it's just like asking Jesus to come back as a black man. Nobody will follow him. That is a fact of life. The same thing is happening now. Unless a white man stands up somewhere to say that what Nnamdi is saying is true, a sizable number of black people will not believe, because I'm a black person like them. And we don't believe that anything good can come out of a black person. That is the very simple truth. It sounds very painful, but that is the truth. That is why until a white man confers some kind of legitimacy upon a black man or a black woman, nobody listens to them. Nobody. Can you imagine if Chimamanda were to be, should I say, recommended by a black literary agent? Do you know what will happen to her? She will sink into oblivion because she's mixing with white people, and the white people are the ones now telling you that this your sister can write very well. That is why we all picked interest. Had Chinua Achebe's books not made it all over the world as a bestseller, perhaps we would not have recognized him. Because we are black, that is the way we are made, that is the way we reason, and that is why we are very poor and wretched. And may Chukwu Okike Abiyama have mercy upon us. We must proceed this very evening because the truth must be preached. What we are doing here is to enlighten humanity, to bring this very gospel to light that Biafra may come in truth and in every honesty. And like my I don't tell lies. Everything you hear from me is the truth. I cannot be afraid of anybody born by a woman. I don't give a toss who you are. I tell you the truth. And that is what we preach here. People should stop second guessing us and trying to find out what I'm thinking. I am as consistent as the Northern Star. I do not change. If the zoo cannot buy me when I was in prison, if all their offers did not move me, there is nothing anybody is going to do to compel me to alter course. We are marching full steam ahead to election boycott until they give us what we want. If they want us to boycott elections, then give us a date for a referendum, as simple as that. If you don't have it, please don't even bother talking to us. This is Radio Biafra. In the zoo, they are pretending nothing is happening. Some of them have gone to the lengths of trying to counter what we are saying. They fabricate their own lies. They drown in their own lies. They keep deceiving themselves in the zoo that Jubril is somehow Buhari. No wonder blacks are useless. But here we are Radio Biafra. We preach this very gospel that Biafra may come. And the IPOB that is funding this very movement, that is propelling it by the grace of the Almighty, are the most enlightened and educated people in Africa. Let me not say the world. And that is why Biafra is going to come. We are going to dismantle the lies of Lai Mohammed and his brother. There was one Yoruba senator, very mischievous and a lying toad. He said he holds a doctorate degree in genetics. Has anyone heard about the man before? He's a Yoruba senator. Do you see how clever they are? This Yoruba senator said that nobody can clone a 75-year-old. Lai Mohammed echoed the same sentiment. If you are not intelligent enough, you will think that Nnamdi Kanu said that Buhari was cloned into Jubril. That wasn't what I said. I said that Jubril is an impostor. They brought him in to act and behave like the dead Buhari. I never said he was cloned. But you see how clever these liars are, like Lai Mohammed and the entire zoo, because Nigerians are liars by nature. A Nigerian is a liar. The worst thing you can ever encounter, apart from the devil, is a Nigerian. Evil people that lie, that pretend that what they are looking at is no longer real. They were there when Oshun elections were rigged. They were there when they rigged the elections. Everybody saw it live with their own eyes and said, without any fundamental restructuring of the electoral system, we will not vote. All of a sudden they're going to vote. They have forgotten. But we have not forgotten. I don't forget. I learn and I proceed. That is how IPOB is. We always learn and we march on. We never go back to go, perhaps you try and repeat the same mistakes of the past. No, we don't do that. We only move ahead. That is why we are the most successful, the largest mass political movement anywhere on this earth. IPOB is #1 in the whole world. Because there's something unique and special about us. And you will hear what is going to happen very soon. Just bear with me. We must dismantle these lies, this narrative of cloning. I never said that Jubril was cloned. Never, ever, ever. From inception, I have said I will expose Jubril to the very unreasonable and unthinking populace. Anybody you call a Nigerian cannot reason properly. I keep saying it and I will maintain it. Nigeria is the fictional creation of the British. God did not create Nigeria. Allow me to repeat. God did not create Nigeria. Nigeria was created by Frederick Lugard and the girlfriend Flora Shaw. Not by God. Anybody telling you that God created Nigeria, the person is deceiving you, the person is lying, and the person can never ever be redeemed. I can assure you of that. Do you know how you can tell how if God made a country or nation or not? Simply ask yourself this question: who created Britain? Who created Russia? Who created France? Who created Denmark? No single person ever did. It's a collection of will, an aggregation of values that then fuse together to form a value system. Who created Saudi Arabia? It's only Chukwu Abiyama in heaven that can create a nation. And nations emerge as a result of an organic process of the fusion of ideas, cultures, and values. As simple as that. I hear the Fulani people saying, like the Sultan of Sokoto, and on some occasions, Jubril and the Fulanis that brought him into power, that God created this Nigeria. You must be a fool to think that way. Because all the countries in sub-Saharan Africa, with the exception of Ethiopia, we are the creation of Europeans, not God. That is why they are your God anyway, for some of you. But not for us, because we only worship Chukwuokike Abiyama here. We don't worship any other person apart from Elohim himself in heaven. Therefore, I don't care if you hate us, if you don't, that is your business. It's not going to stop us from doing what we're doing. It can never stop IPOB from restoring Biafra. Therefore, we must proceed. There's been this very puerile attempt to divert this very explanation that we're presenting to the whole world. We've always said that Jubril is an impersonator. That's what we said. Not a cloned version of Buhari. What they are cloning about Buhari is the ear. You know the ear at the back of the mouse. That is what they are cloning. Because when they cut out the ear, they can now cut it to the shape of the dead Buhari. Have you noticed how they never photographed the left ear? Have you noticed it, all of you? They never ever allow you to get close. The idiot went to Meduguri. He was standing almost 3 miles away from the soldiers. 3 miles away. When he went to the hospital, they cleverly positioned him so that a useless plank they tied on the bed will cover the left ear. And somebody, a Yoruba journalist, will come tomorrow and say, oh, but there is no evidence. And I keep wondering, haven't they listened to this very broadcast from the time I started, making it from here in Israel? Have they not listened to it, I ask? Those in the pay of APC, like Channels TV and a few other media houses who are so hungry that they sell their conscience, will accept this very simple fact, that at no time have I said that Buhari was cloned. I said they brought in an impostor, an actor from Sudan, Jubril Aminu al-Sudani. That's his name, till tomorrow. And I'm very grateful that the Sudanese government are doing something about it, investigating this very matter. There is a plan and orchestrated disinformation championed by corrupt segments of the media. They know the truth, but they lie. I asked people, have you seen the Jubril that escorted Aisha to the launch of APC? Is that man Buhari to anybody alive? I ask you. Does that man look like Buhari to any of you? A simple question. After, he doesn't look like Buhari, but I think Buhari is still alive. You must be a fool. That means that your eyesight is not working properly. And I think I tweeted it. That those who cannot discern or make out the very physical, facial differences between Jubril and Buhari, you are in need of an eyeglass, I tell you. Because if you go there, you will be able to see it. The present state of absurdity and confusion in the zoo, arising from the consistent and relentless pursuit of the truth on this radio Biafra, is what will unravel the zoo. Allow us, we know what we are doing. We want to prove to the whole world, I want to prove to humanity, that Nigeria is a bundle of lies and that Nigerians are liars by nature. And the worst part of it, they don't have the liver. They don't have the conscience to rise up and say that evil is evil. That is why you are owing teachers for 2 years. You are owing nurses for 8 months. And the same nurse will go out and say, yes, we are going to vote. But the people you voted for are the ones owing you. They will never pay you your salary because they know you are stupid. They know if they call for an election, you will vote. They know how useless you are. That is why they owe you your money. They won't give it to you because they know you're stupid. Ask yourself, all of you want to go to America. You want American visa. You want French visa. You want to even travel to Russia. Ask yourselves, when their leaders were as bad as Jubril and all the Sultan, all these idiots that occupy positions in the zoo, do you think that the zoo is the first place on this earth where you've had corrupt rulers? No. It was everywhere all over the world. In Europe, do you know what the people did? Their rulers came to bribe them. Oh, why don't you do this for us? Oh, why don't you allow me to do this for you or to do that for you? Do you know what the people did? They said, no, we are going to change you and change the system that produced the likes of you. Do you see where Europeans are different from black African people? Do you see where even Latinos in South America, that they jail any corrupt leader in Brazil, you're going to jail. They imprison you. But you have people as corrupt as Buhari was before he died, as corrupt as Aisha Buhari is. Some of you don't know this. Aisha Buhari is in the oil business. Is she an engineer? Have any of you asked yourself, how come Aisha is a multi-billionaire from oil business, the wife of the dead Buhari? You will not ask yourself that question because you are black. You don't reason very well. There is something wrong with your brain. It doesn't function properly. Let me tell you something. You see Britain. In Britain, people revolted against a corrupt leadership. King Charles was beheaded by Oliver Cromwell. In France, the same thing. King Louis and Marie Antoinette were beheaded. The people said enough is enough. But have you noticed, even Arabs, remember the Arab Spring? Arabs said enough is enough. Have you ever asked yourself, why is it that black African people are suffering and they are smiling? Because they are useless. Because their brain doesn't work properly. But in IPOB, our brain functions very well. That's how they insult elders. If an elder is a complete idiot and a pedophile, we will sack you. Because you are nobody. You are evil. Listen to your elders. How old is Emmanuel Macron? How old is the Austrian Prime Minister? Our last born, Chichi Wannemwany, is older than the Austrian Prime Minister. And you're suffering and you're smiling. And when they tell you go and get your PVC, you foolishly and hopelessly and idiotically go and polish it. You want to go and vote because you're stupid. You don't want your life to change. We have sacrificed so much that we may show you the way. But anyway, some of you are black. They say people are complaining in the US, that black Americans are complaining in the US. Madam Mary is here. If you go to US, you will tell them that you met Nnamdi in Israel. And that I said that we black people will reason like idiots. We don't have brain. Tell them that's what I said. If they're upset, they should change their way of reasoning. We must change our way of reasoning. Or else, you know one thing about it is that when whites listen to what I preach, they keep saying that he's saying something important. That if his people were to listen to him, there will be a lot of change. Not just in Biafra, but the whole of Africa. But you want me to pamper you, to tell you, oh no, you're intelligent, you're smart, you are none of those. If they can go to Sudan and bring in an impostor to come and rule you, and you cannot even tell that the old Buhari is taller than this nonsense you have now, then I feel sorry for all of you. Not IPOB, because we are very smart. Very, very smart. We must continue. These lies championed by channels television and their lies. AFP, the Associated, is it Agence French Press? Agence French Press. AFP, they've joined them and they've collected their own share of the money. They think, I'm not afraid of anybody. I don't care who you are. If you like, be the most powerful, most influential media group in the world, I don't give a damn. The coming of Biafra is in the hands of Chukwukikabiama, not in the hands of man. And that is where it's going to come. So when I ask you to follow me to the temple to go and pray, you will join me. Because I told you that Chukwukikabiama will give us Biafra, and he did. We must proceed. Some of them think that Black Africa is devoid of conscience and that we have no common sense. So any rubbish can go. But I'm going to shock them. We have placed the zoo in a very uncomfortable place. What they have done is to resort to whole-scale bribery. They must bribe the journalists all over the world to keep writing nonsense. Did you see the picture of Jubril today traveling to, they say he's going to Poland. Oh, that's in Brazil for G20. They say he himself is going to Poland for climate change. Oh, zoo. I don't want to go into the lecture of climate change and the idiocy of Nigeria's participation in anything that may lead to the reduction of carbon emission or greenhouse gases. Do you know why? Because there is no electricity in the zoo. Everybody has a generator that either burns diesel or burn the premium motor spirit, which is fuel. Petrol. And the people attending international climate change to see how the world can reduce global emission, they are the ones importing third-rate generators from Japan. Every house. You've heard about smoke inhalation killing a lot of families from tiny generators. So I keep asking myself, what contribution will the zoo make in Poland? When back where you come from, everybody has a generator generating tons and tons of carbon every blessed day. I don't know what brought me to Africa. I think Chukwabema should have made me to become maybe a tree in a forest. When they cut me down, at least they can make center table with me and that'll be useful. Sometimes don't some of you think at all what you're doing in Africa? You are the number one contributor to carbon emission. You. All of you have generator. Everybody has generator in the zoo. And you are attending a conference on how to reduce carbon emission. So let me ask you, so when you come back, you tell us now to stop using generators? I don't understand it. And they say he's going to Poland, and people are waving him off. We'll get Biafra and we'll show them how things are done. Osibajo is a coward. That is why he's not the president. Osibajo is a complete fool. That is why he is not the president of the zoo. Dora Akunyili sacrificed her life that Jonathan may become the president. So when next somebody is saying, they are Igbo and we are Ijo, what have they done for us? Tell the idiot that Dora Akunyili sacrificed herself that Jonathan may become the president of the zoo. Without what she did, nobody had the mettle. They did not have it inside them to speak the truth until Dora Akunyili came and told everybody the truth. That Yaradua was dead. What they are doing now, they perfected it. Are you telling me that none of you have seen Dora Akunyili's video? We are going to play it, the audio, so you can hear it. How she made it possible for Jonathan to become the president. They were all cowards. All cowards, all of them. It took one strong Biafran woman to stand up and say enough is enough before they gave way for Jonathan. When Buhari died, oh dear. Imagine asking Yosibaja to go and instigate somebody to say Buhari is dead. They threatened all of them. If anything had happened to Buhari, these are senators and legislators saying, if anything had happened to Buhari, they will kill everybody in Abuja. And some of you are saying you are proud Nigerians. I'm a proud Nigerian. May the good Lord have mercy upon your soul, because, I don't know, you're beneath contempt. You're beneath contempt. In a move that betrays the shallowness of the Zoo media and the gangsters in Aso Rock, Lai Mohammed and all the rest of them, the stupid introduction of cloning into the narrative was a deliberate ploy to confuse you, because they know you're black, you'll be confused. Do you know why? Yoruba don't want Nigeria to break. You don't know that? So now let me tell you. Yoruba people do not want Nigeria to break. Because if Nigeria breaks, where would they get free oil from? From where? Let me ask you. Where all those importing through Apapa seaport, who will import from there? All of you will remember also Abiola. I'm sure you remembered it. Those of you, unfortunate enough to be left in Lagos, when the Osa Abiola happened, when people left Lagos, when June 12th was annulled, will testify that Lagos turned into a ghost town. Lagos became empty overnight because Biafrans left following the annulment of the June 12th elections. Yoruba people will not ever come out to say that Buhari is dead and that man there is Jubril. Never. They don't want Nigeria. Forget all the nonsense. They don't want Nigeria to break. Never. They don't want it. And they control the media. Is what they tell you that you're going to listen. Is what they tell you that you're going to absorb. That is what you're going to consume. Is anything they tell you. Because they control the media. They control you. Look at the way they made Peter Obi to appear as if they're doing Igbo people a favor. You know, that was what whites used to do. Oh, this is the first black man to work in our office. Oh, this is the first black man to empty dustbin for us. Oh, this is the first black man. And they'll be snapping picture with him. And you, as a black person, as foolish as you are, you'll be clapping. Oh, this man is the first black man to write his name very well, or to spell his name very well. He's the first black man to do this, the first black man to do that. When they gave you Obama, they made it appear as if they're doing you a favor. The same way, look at Peter Obi, as if not all of you own Nigeria. It's only them. If they give you anything, you should be grateful for it. But meanwhile, it is from one Fulani to the other, either Atiku or Buhari, they're all Fulani. But you, that they appointed somebody from your side, just a candidate, hasn't even won yet. You are made to feel as if you should be grateful to God that remembered you. Do you see how they control your mind? Do you see why IPOB is special? You cannot control our mind because we reason and we ask questions. And most of our questions, the zoo cannot even answer. We are proceeding because the zoo must collapse, it must fall. If you say you're a Nigerian, may the good Lord have mercy upon your soul. It means you're a liar, you're a deceiver, you're a cheat, and you're a coward. You cannot even speak the truth because you don't know what truth is all about and can never ever know. For the sake of clarity and total removal of ambiguity, there was never a time I insinuated, I implied that Jubril was cloned. I never said that. They went and brought, I hope Amaka is listening, I hope she can post these pictures. You see how foolish they are. I posted some pictures on my timeline. In fact, I tweeted it. A left-handed Buhari versus a right-handed Jubril. You know what they did? They brought the pictures of Trump and Obama and reversed it. Do you see how stupid they are? You know the lapel pin-up that you have. It could be a flag, it could be anything. Anywhere you go in the world, they put the pin On the left breast, on the lapel, on the left side of the suit. That's where they wear it. Everybody in the world, no matter how primitive you are. They went and reversed it, and it moved from the left to the right. They said, oh, can't you see what they did? They mirrored the picture. They reversed it. So it is the same person. They just reversed it. Do you see how foolish they are? And I asked somebody to ask them, can you show me any other picture in the world where you wear your pin-up on the right-hand side of your suit? Anywhere in the world. And they couldn't. So how come Obama is now wearing his wedding band, his wedding ring, on his right hand? Which man wears wedding ring on the right hand? Do you see how foolish they are? But some of you are black. You say, yeah, this is it. Oh, that was what they did. Because you don't have an investigative mindset. You don't investigate what you're told. Use your common sense. Use your tiny black brain, whatever is left of it, to be able to reason. Perhaps you will be on the same page with IPOB. It must be mentioned that the mastermind of this fraud of Jubril is Abba Kyari. Has anyone seen him recently? Hey, we don't know who is dead. They say Abba Kyari is dead. And we cannot see the one that brought Jubril. Nobody knows what is happening anymore. I just don't know. Maybe they're preparing him with extensive plastic surgery and makeup so he can come out to speak Fufude before the elections. Maybe. The reason behind all the evil in the north, in Abuja, is control of oil and gas resources. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less. Some of you hear about Fulani people becoming millionaires overnight, like Dangote. Dangote is a rich man, isn't he? Can anybody remember who he was before he became a multi-millionaire or multi-billionaire? What was he doing 20 years ago, 30 years ago, apart from collecting money from Fulani juntas in power? Basically doing that's what it is. It's money laundering. That's what he was doing. Dangote is a money launderer, nothing more, nothing less. They need to maintain that level of lifestyle and subjugate other people by ensuring they have total and dominant control of the oil and gas industry. Why do you think Buhari made himself the petroleum minister? Ask yourself this question. How did Aisha Buhari become involved in Halliburton scandal? Where did she study petroleum engineering to have any business to do with oil and gas to the point of bribing Halliburton or accepting bribe from Halliburton? But you see, I don't want to get some of you thinking too hard this evening because I don't know. We all need to be educated. I don't feel sorry for myself. I've said this before, and I won't. I will not stop criticizing myself until I become better. You see, that is why what people say about me don't faze me. I am much more harder on myself than anything anybody can say from anywhere. I can assure you of that. I can assure you of that. We must continue. We must continue. This is Radio Biafra. If you're joining us for the very first time, you are blessed. Because here you will hear the unadulterated truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. We are Biafrans. We are not going to lose focus. We are IPOB. It doesn't matter. You know, sometimes people, I say somebody's name on Radio Biafra, or we say, oh, we respect so person, and the next day the zoo will go to that person, give them money to say some nonsense against our IPOB or against Nnamdi. You must all be used to it. This is called freedom fighting. Fighting. We don't have guns or ammunition, no. We don't have bullets, no. No knives, no machete, nothing. Not even penknife. But we are involved in freedom fighting. Don't expect your enemies to fold their arms and just be waiting for you to walk over them. Anybody I mention on Radio Biafra, anybody that I say is close to me, They go to that very person, they give them money, they bribe them, they promise them heaven and earth to come out and start speaking from the other side of the mouth. All of you must get used to it. And when you see such nonsense, you simply move on. Ignore them because they are trying to distract you from what you are supposed to be doing. So we must move on because this very gospel must be preached. Chukwokika Biama will bear us witness always because we always win. We are Radio Biafra. Every time we win, there is nothing anybody can do about it. They can arrest us all they like. They went to Nnewi, they arrested everybody. The police came where we were conducting a peaceful march inside our own market. Inside, we didn't go to Buzo or to Funtua. In our own home, Nnewi, in our own place, distributing leaflets and flyers, marching as we usually do. The Fulani police commissioner called his people, asked them to come and start shooting at us. They are the ones that came uninvited. They shot at us. And they came back that same evening for mass arrest. Do you know why they are doing it? Because they know we will not fight back. They know that all the armed robbers and the criminals and the ritualists in Ohanese and the Igbo governors, they will turn a blind eye. As this nonsense is happening, a new terrorist group is being formed in Sokoto. Nobody is going there to shoot at them. They went to confront they were in, is it Matale or whatever rubbish they call the place, where the army battalion were. Where? Metale, is that correct? I don't know how to pronounce those names. You must forgive me. Boko Haram came and dealt with them. And some of them ran away. These are soldiers with guns. Do you understand what I'm saying? These are armed, remember when it comes to IPOB, you see Buratai, they're armed, they are well trained, they are Nigerian soldiers. We are going there. You see Yoruba Irats on the internet saying, oh, our army is going there. Our troops going to Isiamafara to fight with armored cars and anti-personnel carriers and 2 Air Force jets, bombers, to come and kill me and my family. Do you know that this same brilliant, powerful army, that Boko Haram met them and they were running, and they had guns, they had armored tank, they had everything. Now I keep saying to the zoo and their supporters, if you're running away from illiterate, badly educated Alamajiri carrying AK-47, when IPOB decides to go violent, how can you cope? I keep asking them, nobody can answer this question. You saw during Operation Python Dance, they went and brought one baby snake and gave to Buratai. He wrapped his round around the snake as a hard man. Ordinary Boko Haram came and they were all running. How can you be running with a rifle? These are the people that came to Isiamafra to kill everybody. They came to Nnewi to arrest us because Igbo governors. When I told you not to go out to vote for that drunkard, that idiot. Anambra governor now, they gave the governorship to Willie Obiano. Did you listen? Do you think a Fulani soldier, Fulani policeman will give the order to come to Nnewi market and be shooting at people without the knowledge of Obiano? Is that what you're telling me? Of course Obiano knew. The same Obiano is now supporting Jubril. This is the problem we have in our land. When you call evil for what it is, they say you disrespect elders. Everybody can remember that when Buhari was alive, he was openly defending Boko Haram that was busy killing people. An attack on Boko Haram is an attack against the North. IPOB is not carrying any arms. We've not killed anybody. None of them. None of them that some fools are telling us to respect. None of them came out to defend IPOB. But they go to the same meeting with these people defending Boko Haram, defending Fulani headsmen. When Fulani headsmen came to Anambra to kill us, surprise, surprise, This Fulani police commissioner never sent one policeman to go and defend our villages. I want people to listen very carefully and understand what I'm saying, why I am angry with some of these people. Talking nonsense all the time. You know, in a land of hunger, any idiot can come out to say whatever rubbish they like. Any fool can come out and say whatever nonsense they like. I am asking the Anambra State Police Commissioner that sends his policemen to go to Nnewi to shoot at people conducting a peaceful evangelism. This Anambra Police Commissioner, Mr. Police Commissioner, when your Fulani brothers were in Anambra raping women, rampaging and killing people in the farms, what did you do? The answer is nothing. But some of our people born in Mandiamu, Lagos and Abuja, answering Efonanya or whatever it is that they're answering in the north and Yoruba land. This is why you say I insult you. When I say you cannot reason properly, you say I insult you. Wouldn't the question be, why are you attacking innocent people in Nnewi market? When you have Fulani headsmen killing people all over the place. When you have a brand new terrorist group in Sokoto. When you can't even defeat Boko Haram. But I don't know what is happening. Maybe it's the zoo education system. Instead of people to ask very simple questions as to why things are the way they are, they say to IPOB, oh, but you shouldn't have gone out to evangelize. And when I ask them why are they saying that, they say it's because a Fulani man said so. You shouldn't go out to evangelize because a Fulani, some of them are so terrified of Fulani people. Perhaps I'm the only person that the Fulanis are afraid of. And they know, because if you hate me, I hate you twice, more than you hate me. Anybody pretending that they love one Nigeria, and in that process, try to put down Biafra or IPOB, I'll come after you. It's as simple as that. If you hate me, I hate you back. Illegal arrests everywhere and detention of IPOB family members. This time around, they were unlucky. They picked up traders. Now the traders in the Nnewi market can see what we are suffering. They will say you, they'll arrest you for no reason. They won't tell anybody. They just take you. Sometimes they take you to Abuja, or they kill you and they dump you in a borrow pit. Will Ohaneze say anything? Will your so-called useless governor say anything? Will another idiot somewhere in Abuja or Lagos answering to Ohaneze this or that, or Igbo this or that, say anything? The answer is no. That is how selfish and foolish some of them are. They arrested innocent traders at Nnewi and locked them up with the help of Igbo politicians. You don't know that? Anybody, they all want to do what they can do to get along, to have a house in Abuja, be able to buy private jets, and be flying all over and tell you they're elite. Both the educated and the uneducated. They tell you, oh, we are the elite. What makes you an elite? Okay, you have a Fulani friend or a political godfather in the Fulani land, and that recommended you for an appointment in somebody's government, and because of that, all of a sudden you become an elite. Do you see how messed up we are in our brains? All of them. When I look at Imo State, I pity the people of Imo State. Look at your elites now in Imo State. Ndioshi throughout. Every governorship candidate in Imo State. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Going back to Nnewi, they lock up our people. Let me tell them something. Ask any IPOB family member who's ever been to prison before. Once you take us to prison, we become more hardened than we ever were before. There is nobody who has ever been to prison. Some of us 2-3 times. Then you ask, oh, are you going to give up on IPOB? They will tell you you're dreaming. It makes us to become more hardened. If you don't know, we must tell you. You must release those traders or it will escalate. Willie Obiano is now having fun, buying even more expensive brandy and whiskey to get drunk all he likes because he has access to allocation money. And what has he done with it? Nothing.